Rätt mycket av vårt jobb, alltså mitt och Svantes, går ut på att man åker iväg, träffar artister, intervjuar dem för att sen ni ska kunna ta del av hur de tänker. Men innan vi kommer in i bilden så har det hänt en hel del.
Ja, någon ska ju plocka fram och upptäcka artisterna också. Och en som har blivit smått legendarisk på sin förmåga att hitta brittiska poppan, det är Alan McGEE.
I've made 300 albums and 300 singles, and I've never read a record contract in my life. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, that's true. I couldn't read one. I get my lawyer to read them. I mean, for all I know, he might own Creation Records.
Oasis, Primal och Bo Radleys är några av alla band Alan McGEE upptäckte. Creation Records startade han i mitten av 80-talet mest av en slump. Målet var att slippa jobbet på järnvägen och ändå tjäna de 70 pund han behövde till hyran.
You know, I had no real ambitions to become a huge record company or anything like that. I was just wanting to put records out because that was what I wanted to do with my life, you know.
And when did things start to turn around?
When did I start earning £70 a week?
Yeah.
About 2 weeks after I chucked a job. So I'd sort of made it 2 weeks after I'd chucked a job.
Yeah, and when did you realise that this is going to be more than £70 a week?
About 3 weeks after, when I started earning about £700 a week running a club. I came down to play at my club and they were third on the bill. And the two brothers started arguing with each other and they nearly had a punch up on stage, which I found quite amusing. And this was a sound check. And then as they stopped the sound check, they played Vegetable Man, Sid Barrett. And I went up to them and said, "Oh, do you want a record deal?" And they thought they were probably going to have to get sent back to Scotland. But I signed them up. And then I became their manager and sort of developed, you know, from there, you know. And also having the Mary chain, it was like it was great training for Oasis. Because if you could deal with the two brothers and the Mary chain, who actually probably are harder to deal with than Noel and Liam, right? Then, you know, it was like good training, you know.
What did you learn?
Oh, you go to the toilet when there's an argument.
Just leave them alone?
Yeah, it was like, I once watched this documentary and Malcolm McLaren said every time the Sex Pistols had a punch-up, he went to the toilet. And then he came on at the toilet and went, "Well, what happened?" So that was kind of my tactics. Going to the toilet at the right point is usually quite a good career move.
Hobbyprojektet Creation Records blir skivbolaget bakom Britpop-vågen och signar band som Primal, My Bloody Valentine och Ride. För Alan blir livet affärsresor och droger.
I mean, I used to come to countries like this and basically just like phone up the drug dealer, and then the drug dealer would come round the hotel, and then I'd be like in a constant state of kind of like ecstasy and paranoia for about 2 days while I was doing business, and all the record companies would think I was a freak, and then I would go home, and then I'd like get to the airport, and then I'd be met by another drug dealer who would give me more drugs on the way, so I could do the drugs in the taxi back to my house. So it was kind of like, it was a kind of party for 7 years. One night in Los Angeles when I was taken into the Cedars-Sinai Hospital and they were giving me oxygen, and I kind of thought that was the end of the road, really. When, you know, when people are giving you oxygen to keep you alive, I didn't think that was really a good way to really go forward and become an old age pensioner.
Mitt i drogröran 93, det Alan McGEE själv kallade förlorade året, gav han sig ett femmannaband från Manchester. Det är kärlek vid första ögonkastet.
Hello, Wonderwall.
Liam was completely charismatic, that he was totally special, and that he really didn't give a fuck, and you know, that was kind of like everything you needed in a rock and roll singer, and he was good looking.
Backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had it out.
Can you try to explain, you know, this ability of yours? You call it a gift.
Right.
To find bands.
I stopped going to school when I was 14, and I just used to sit in and sing Ziggy Stardust and put it on over and over and over again, you know, and like I could sing you every single song in Ziggy Stardust, every single lyric, and I just became obsessed by music and obsessed by artists, and I could tell you like the engineer and Ziggy Stardust and the producer. So, you know, if you grow up listening to great music like Bowie and the Beatles and punk and stuff like that, I was obsessed by punk rock, then you end up being good at music, and that was my gift, you know.